Now, first story. The Ghana Integrity Initiative is demanding updates and publication of reports in corruption cases from the Office of the Attorney General. The GI has cited several corruption cases that have been left hanging and since unresolved. Programs Manager of the GI, Mary Awelina, promised her outfit will continue to pile pressure on the mandated authorities to resolve these corruption cases. Salina Mampo has more.
The Ghana Integrity Initiative is asking President Akufo-Addo's government to publish investigative reports on corruption cases still hanging and yet to be prosecuted.
We have invited you here today to demand of government, particularly agencies of state mandated to investigate and prosecute corruption, the status of several alleged cases of corruption, which inundated the airwaves during the course of the year. But unfortunately, we still do not know the outcomes or their outcomes.
The statement read by the program's manager, Mary Awelina Ada, cited several corruption cases that have been investigated by the media but left to die off.
The $74 million waste bin scandal. I hope you all remember that. And if you do not, let me give you a brief synopsis of the fact. In September 2017, an investigation carried out by JoyNews revealed that a contract awarded to 5 companies belonging to the Jospon Group to supply 1,240,000 bins and 900,000 pieces of bin liners was inflated by at least 31.1 million. Metro Mass Transit, the scandal that erupted, and we discussed over the media space and in civil society spaces for such a long time. This case is the Ghana Bauxite Company scandal. In July 2018, media investigations again revealed that the Ghana Bauxite Company evaded the payment of penalty for overloading haulage trucks to the tune of more than $90 million over a period of 6 years.
The organization has charged the president to step in and call government appointees to order.
Took place. We at the Ghana Integrity Initiative are also scandalized by recent reports that some government appointees and ministers of state are withholding information from the police and Attorney General's department. This development, we are told, is making it difficult to proceed with some of the cases we have enumerated above. We therefore call on the President to step in and call government appointees to order. We also challenge the police and the Attorney General to use the constitutional and legal powers at their disposal to enforce compliance from the government appointees concerned.
The anti-corruption crusaders say they will continue to pile pressure on mandated authorities to stomp out the canker. Selinam Ampo for JoyNews.
Speaking of crusaders, after months of demonstrations and agitations to protest the delay in the payment of their allowances, recruits under the government's Youth in Afforestation program will be paid 1 month allowance. This is despite demands by the workers that many of them have not been paid for almost 6 months. Officials of the Forestry Commission were forced to make an announcement of the payment after scores of angry recruits gathered at the premises of the Commission on Tuesday to demand their arrears. The unpaid recruits say they will continue to agitate every day at the Commission until their arrears are fully paid.
I was employed June, and I didn't get my pay. Okay. I had July up to date, nothing. Always they come here, they tell us, oh, we should go, they will pay. Okay. They said they will pay. That is what they have been telling us.
Aziz is a degree holder. He was recruited into the Youth in Afforestation program 7 months ago. Out of the 7, he has been paid only 1 month allowance. The rest, he says, he's been begging government to pay him so he can feed his family.
What month? Who's that guy? They have paid what? They have not paid anything. They are lying. We've been here. Why did the soldiers come in? They closed the gate. We stood there peacefully until the soldier gave a warning. He was shooting at us. He spoke a phone. iPhone.
Did you provoke them? Did you provoke them?
Anything.
He's not alone. Jemima is also demanding her allowances. She says, like many of her colleagues, she has had to borrow money for the upkeep of her family. She says she cannot continue to live in that manner and is demanding immediate payment of her arrears.
I am here for my money. We are tired of the empty promises.
Every month, every week, Friday, Saturday,
we have a lot of bills to settle. We've always postponed the payments. I'm tired. We were expecting them to pay us our arrears, but Sir John decided to pay a month's salary.
The recruits, numbering almost 100, rejected fresh assurances by Chief Executive of the Commission, Pedro Free, when he came to address them earlier. And it is not difficult to understand why. Michael Okwe is one of the angry recruits skeptical about the fresh assurances.
They'll give us 1 month. It's all like, I'm repeating, it's a bit of mediocrity. It's a lie, it's a political talk. We know Sir John. We've been here several times. And the same thing, issue.
Now, the Commission says the payments are being worked on. Joy Suforikwafo is the Corporate Affairs and Media Relations Manager for the Commission.
Monies will have to come from the Ministry of Finance to the Forestry Commission, and then it goes through the process before it hits their accounts. So as and when money comes in from the Ministry of Finance, we pay them. Now, when we started the program, the funds were not coming in as expected. So Forestry Commission had to go look for loans. That was what we used to pay them for the first 4 months up to July. And then after that, getting the funds was becoming difficult. So we pushed and pushed and pushed. And then as I speak with you, everything has gone on. The paperwork, all the processes have gone on for their allowances to be paid for the month of August, whilst we prepare for the rest of the months to be paid. Now, if you look at these documents in front of me here, now you see all these letters that have been written, memos here and there, back and forth. And the last one is this one, which is a payment check deposit form, which has been paid to Ghana Commercial Bank. That was yesterday. If you look at the date on it, it's 17th. It was just yesterday that this amount was paid into Ghana Commercial Bank's account for them to also pay the beneficiaries. So as we speak now, they are working on it, and then very soon it will hit their accounts. We have given them assurances over and over again that we are going to get them their allowances before Christmas. In fact, it is not the wish of Forestry Commission that such a situation should come up, but then it's way beyond our control. So let me use this medium to extend our sincere apologies to all the beneficiaries involved in this issue. We know how it feels like, even when you are working and you are...
Away from that subject, the Ministry of Health says it will provide pontoons to island communities to improve access to health delivery in such areas. This was made known after the USAID on Tuesday handed over a 25-passenger pontoon to the Ghana Health Service. This boat is expected to improve the quality of health care in these rural areas. Nancy Emefajiradosi was there during the handing over ceremony.
About 36,000 people living along the 141 island communities in the Volta region have for years struggled to have access to quality healthcare, as they often have unreliable and unsafe canoe to take them to the hospitals. Services provided to these communities, like maternal health care, are also limited. Deputy Director of the Public Health at the Volta region, Dr. Yao Ofori-Yeboah, tells Joy News how expensive it is to provide health services to island communities.
Very few health facilities on these islands. For most of them, for the people to access the services, we have to provide outreach services to these islands periodically. And it's very dangerous. The health service, we don't have any functional boats. So we have to depend on the local canoes that people have available. Look, we've lost people. Pregnant women have died, children have died because we are unable to provide services to them. And therefore we are depriving Ghanaians who are on the islands of much needed services. And that's not fair.
But there's good news, as the United States, through the USAID, has presented a 25-passenger pontoon boat to the Volta Regional Directorate of the Ghana Health Service to specifically enhance access to healthcare. Sharon Cromer is Mission Director for the USAID Ghana.
We identified 141 communities on island communities that needed access to maternity and child health and other health care. And so we provided this pontoon boat to reach those communities.
After a brief handing over ceremony, the Deputy Health Minister, Kingsley Abuajijidu, noted the ministry is working to provide similar boats to other communities in other regions across the country.
I think with this, they are now going to have needed access. And where we are standing, understand, is made for motorbike and things like that. So when you get to the island, the health workers who can use their motorbike to reach out, because it's not reasonable to believe that all of them live just by the river. Some of them live a bit far from the river. So we need to get to them. Definitely, when I go back, I will brief my minister, and together we'll find a way of adding more to augment the fleet so that the people on the islands too will have access to equitable and safe healthcare.
The pontoon, which is called Akpini Queen, was constructed by the Ghanaian under the Benlex Engineering and Marine Systems. Nancy Emefa Jadosi, Joy News.
Well, now wait for the news, Kojo.
Indeed, and of course, that means we can get into all the rest of our content this morning, starting with the headlines from all of our newspapers across the nation right after these.